I just want to tap on real quick about, as a gay or bisexual man, black man or men of color especially, what do y'all see y'all's lives like after this whole like hookup culture phases out? Or like not necessarily phases out, because I understand gay men will literally live in this phase, but when you no longer are accepted in that lifestyle, in the hookup culture, because that's a lifestyle within itself. We've already discussed that your body, age, looks, all the superficial shit is what, makes you available for that lifestyle. So when everything, when you get older and when things happen, and as time goes on, as life changes for you, where do we see ourselves at? And that is a part of the reason why I promote relationships, because not just because of what, like as far as like wanting to be in a relationship, like in a personal way, but also like, which by the way, I got my hair braided. Babes braided my hair. He just gave me 2 braids back real quick because I'd be tired of this shit being in my face. Like, for real. I really don't prefer having long hair. I only let this shit grow out because of him. I mean, I enjoy it sometimes, but I have, times where I don't want it like that. But yeah, by the way, real quick, I just want to give a quick update. So, everything been Gucci, but like the reason why y'all got the lover boy video was because that was a day me and Babe was beefing, and I honestly had left that day and shit. You know what I'm saying? I actually packed all my shit and left the crib, and I was like, calling myself done with him. But I'm glad that we reconciled, because not only, I ain't gonna give y'all detail about what happened per se, but I'll say like, how am I gonna be a person to tell y'all to stick out relationships or to be more relationship oriented? How am I gonna preach shit like that and then I don't stick by it and I leave a nigga? Now I have my reasons, you know what I'm saying? I was rightfully so, but we got everything worked out. Apologies and everything was made, so, and change have been made, not just apologies. So I just want to bring that out, let that be known. And so, sorry, but yeah, so basically I've been seeing some videos about why are people acting so stuck up in these relationships, or acting like stuck up about relationships, like they don't want to go 50-50 on bills. They rather be by themselves and have their own place and, not have to worry about nobody else. Like basically saying like their peace is more important than splitting the rent 50-50. Well, it's sad to see that, because that lets me know that y'all mentally have given up on any kind of optimism about finding somebody who is an actual good person and a good, candidate to be in a relationship with, 1. And 2, it says that you're going to live a life of slavery. And when I say slavery, I'm not talking about like, I'm talking about, nigga, you're going to work 40 hours a week and you are only able to stay in this little apartment, okay? Or you got to have 3-4 different forms of income, and you're still struggling to make ends meet. Like, being alone and paying all the bills on your own and all that type of shit, I consider that shit slavery, all right? Look, coming from a person like myself, I've been on my own since I was 19, okay? I had my own crib throughout that whole time. Certain points of it, I got assistance from like a trust fund that I have, but also other times I was working and I was actually like, paying that rent on my own. And that's what it was for the last like 5-6 years, all right? I'm gonna tell y'all, after about a good 5, I could tell that a lot of people have not done that, because after a good 5 to 6 years, like after that 5-year mark of being in your own shit, paying all your bills on your own, being single, living that bachelor life, that shit gets so fucking old and boring and lonely and shit after a while. It just makes you feel like your life is just sitting stagnant. Like there's no real growth. As soon as you grow a little bit, make a little bit more money, you know, get a little piece of change, you know, you get a little raise at your job or something like that, it don't add up to the fact that like you're trading all your time, you have no time for friends and like in dates and finding new partners and relationships. You don't have a life. And basically that's what I'm trying to get at, is that a lot of gay men, and it's like gay men of color, like white men, they have a different advantage, I see. But for men of color, I'm noticing that like we have to work so much. And then a lot of the reason why a lot of niggas don't even get in relationships is because they're working all the time. And then they get mad at the fact that niggas don't want to fuck with them. It's not that niggas don't want to fuck with you, but to be in a relationship, you have to have time for it. You have to be actually like available for a relationship. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm finding that a lot of guys are trading being independent and on their own for possibly having, and I get it, because if you don't have the family to fall back on, that's going to like kind of end you up in that part as default, like as far as that lifestyle goes. Which, by the way, I just want to tap on that. I am very much so understanding and relatable to a person who does not have no family and friends and shit that they can go stay with if anything happens, and they rely on either themselves or the roommates or the partner that they live with, right? And a lot of times, a lot of niggas that's fucked up, they'll get into positions with people, and they'll take advantage of these people. Like basically they know that these people need a partner, they need somebody to be with them for certain reasons or whatever, right? And they'll take advantage of that and abuse this person, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all have been victims to that, and that's the reason why a lot of y'all is like, fuck that shit, I'd rather have my own shit and be in my own peace, you know what I'm saying, instead of dealing with another nigga's toxicity, and then I need this nigga for the other half of the rent, and now I'm in a bind, you know what I'm saying? I get exactly where y'all going and how y'all looking at it, all right? I'm not saying that y'all wrong. That is the right mindset to have, but it's very fucked up, and I really wish better for the majority of us as a community that we don't have to live like that, because that's a low quality lifestyle, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it real. If you only have those two options, I suggest that you get like get into a situation where you can rent a room or rent out like I would prefer you to rent a room than to do the 1-bedroom shit. It's too expensive out here. And I feel like if you're going to rent a 1-bedroom or a studio and be paying damn near, like here in Colorado, nigga, a 1-bedroom is going from 16 and up, and a studio is 15 and up. It ain't much fucking different. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be a single motherfucker, you might as well go ahead and rent out a room. And you know what I'm saying? Like when I say rent out a room, I ain't talking about no hotel, no motel. I'm talking about like where people doing, like where they split a house with the bedrooms and shit type shit. I feel like that's a better option than to, because you need to level out. Basically what I'm saying is we need to level out our quality of life and our work life, okay? There needs to be a balance. Do not just slave yourself into a job and only focus on money and paying your rent. That is not a good life, okay? You're going to regret that shit later on down the line. You're going to realize you fucked up, okay? One thing we don't get is time back. You can get more money. These jobs ain't going nowhere. You can get way more. You can quit this job, get fired from this job today, and get another one tomorrow, okay? But what you can't do is you can't get your time back, and you can't get back. You can't replace a healthy relationship that lasts longevity, all right? So basically, if you're in a position where you can't, depend on roommates or anything like that, right? Go ahead, rent out a room somewhere type shit. And that way you get to still have a work-life balance. You don't have to, you can still work the 40 hours a week, but you don't have to work two other incomes. You don't have to break your fucking neck. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if the job want to treat you like shit and the manager want to come in and treat you like you ain't nothing, and all of a sudden, something happen or the job end or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You can move the fuck around. I don't want nobody being hell bent to a fucking toxic ass job. Just like a nigga can be toxic, a job can be, Your parents can be, your friends can be, all kind of different relationships can be toxic. Y'all only highlight romantic relationships when it comes to toxicity, but you can be in a very toxic work balance as well. You know what I'm saying? Or work life as well. So, just like how these niggas do, if you don't want to fuck with them and they want to cheat on you and they want to abuse you and all that, you don't want to fuck with them and you want to be able to move around and chuck the deuces when you want to, have that same energy with these damn bullshit ass jobs that y'all be working at, that be treating y'all like shit, having y'all run around like slaves and don't appreciate you. That's the same shit. So, it's kind of like I'm calling out also how y'all cop out. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't leave these fuck ass jobs. Y'all don't leave these fuck ass family members and none of this shit that do hella toxic shit to y'all. But as soon as it comes to a relationship, now all of a sudden it's, I need to be worried about my independence and all this other shit. And self-love and all that. Man, miss me with that shit. You don't love yourself if you are working 40 plus hours a fucking week and you don't give no time for yourself to fucking sleep right, to work out, to work on your well-being, mentally, physically, whatever, to spend time with your loved ones, to have a friendships that you kick it with. You need to have a fucking life. We are not put here on this world to literally just be working, slaving, stressing, and just getting by every day or every month paying these bills. That's not what we was brought on this earth for, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing a lot of motherfuckers talking about how older guys, older gays, oh, I'm happy. This is their rebuttal to what I be talking about being relationship positive. They be like, oh, I'm happy though. I've been on my own for all these years and I'm still happy. Nigga, ain't nobody fucking said you wasn't. Because guess what? One thing about me, regardless of what situation I'm in, I'm happy. Because you know what? Happiness is a choice. Okay? I've literally I ain't had my own crib. All I had was a car, maybe a job, maybe not even that. You know what I'm saying? And I was happy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have my own crib, car, nigga, pocket full of money, bank account, savings full of bread, all that. Been traveling all year, all that shit. Been happy. And then sometimes not. That's another thing. Y'all act like happiness is a destination. It's a choice and it's an emotion. I done said this before. Happiness is going to come and go regardless of how grand your life is. No matter how much success you get to, you're going to still get upset, my nigga. Like, come on, let's cut the cap, okay? When you own a business, when you own a house, that shit comes with stress, okay? Like, so let's not just sit here and act like just having shit. See, that's what gay people got fucked up about with me. Y'all act like just having shit is the end all be all, and it's not, okay? You can have a bunch of fucking materialistic shit and not have shit, okay? Like, let's just keep it 100, okay? There's a lot of older gay men walking around this motherfucker miserable on the inside, but call themselves happy just because they got their needs met, okay? I'm sorry that all you've been able to be appreciative for is your needs being met as far as, like, financially, because you grew up struggling or whatever, so you can't even fathom or appreciate or demand more out of life because all you've been doing is struggling, or you come from poor families and shit, so all you give a fuck about is your survival. I'm sorry. That's a mindset that also, that's another thing that another person has to deal with to break free from those slavery chains, those mental slavery chains. I feel like that's a mental slavery. You know what I'm saying? When you can literally get out of a poverty situation, make good of yourself, be very more successful than a lot of your family members and all that other shit, and you still have a mindset of being scared about being broke, that sucks. Like, nah, you can't really for real live and spread your wings like that. That's not healthy to me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, basically, also, I just want to say, like, yeah, I've been in that position before where I needed to be on my own, or I was going to need another person besides a family or a friend or whatever. And that shit sucks. You don't want to be in that position. Do not ever be in a position where you need another motherfucker to get by with your well-being. Like, real talk. If you got to go back home and stay with your family, if you got to go stay with your friends or something, do that. Always have a plan B and plan C as far as your well-being goes. You know what I'm saying? Because I peeped that when I packed my shit, basically when Bay got in the argument and I packed my shit and I left, that shit made that nigga appreciate me more, because he realized, like, oh, I gotta actually treat this nigga right or he ain't gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever let somebody think that they can do you any old kind of way and then, you know, they can just kick you out or some shit or have you out here fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Always have a plan B. Because I got my peoples here, that's why I ain't breaking my neck, or I don't recommend nobody break their neck to go move somewhere where you ain't got no family or no friends at, because at least if anything goes down, where whatever you're living situation is like, you got another outcome or another outlet to go to for sanction. You know what I'm saying? So, because I got my peoples and, you know, I got my family house, like, even though I live with him, I pay rent and everything. If this nigga don't want to act right, nigga, I got somewhere to move around to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and let you just stick to your guns and act like you don't have to compromise and, you know, submit to me or nothing. Like, nah, like, it's gonna be that, or we're not gonna be together. Like, and that's what y'all need to have the mentality like with as well. You got to be able to stand on your ground. You can't walk on eggshells in no relationship, okay? So, like, just to have that be said. But on the flip side, to just go and have that mindset of, I'm just gonna go ahead and stay single, I feel like the only men that's doing that in this lifestyle is men who are not conventionally attractive, who have HIV or something, who do not feel confident about themselves, do not feel worthy of a real relationship. That's the only people that I could think of that they feel like this is their end all be all anyway. All right, so that's why they're cool with it. Because let me tell you something. When I was in my last crib, I had just stopped being in my own crib from 2022. When I first started my channel, if y'all go look at my older videos, that was all my own crib, okay? So, but that was like my 5th year being on my own, like back-to-back consecutively throughout the years, to where I've literally like paid rent every month for 5+ years straight. You know what I'm saying? On my own. All right? So I'm able to tell y'all the shit seems grand. That whole independent shit, it feels good in the beginning. The first couple years is self-righteous. You feel very proud of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You gaining some self-worth. You know what I'm saying? As time goes on, it's okay. You know, this is just what life is like and it's cool or whatever. But then after a while, you'll start to realize, hold up now, I wasn't doing this to stay here permanently in this same spot. I looked up and realized, nigga, I'm in the same position I was in, theoretically, since I was 19 to now. Nigga, that's 10+ years. I can't fucking be, nigga, hell nah. Like, I need to grow and level up in life. I saw my people grow and level up in life. I'm not used to this, you know what I'm saying? But this is also a custom to the economy that we live in and all this other shit that plays a part of this, all right? But what I'm saying is that, nigga, we have to take, okay, as a millennial, we have traditional values and we have this new modern day shit in us as well. We need to take a hold of that and realize that a lot of this, like, even this work shit is traditional. Like, a lot of this shit is phasing out, y'all. Like, that whole independent shit is phasing out. It is getting expensive. It's getting too expensive to even be alone now. Like, being alone, you're going to have to be, like I said, a slave. Like, you're going to have 2-3 different incomes. You ain't gonna have no life, no time for nothing. Like, that is misery. Like, straight up. And then if not, you just sitting there in the same spot. You got your own crib, your own car. You can go on trips. You got some savings. Okay. That's what cracks me up about gay men, though. How many trips you gonna take to keep talking about, oh, I'm financially free. Oh, I got this, I got that. I make over 100K a year. I'm good. I don't need no man. I don't need to be with nobody. Niggas ain't shit and all this other shit. Okay, how many trips are you gonna take? How many different niggas are you gonna take on trips? Okay, what are you, like, basically what I'm trying to tell y'all is, I've learned that if you don't buckle down and start your own family in this lifestyle, nigga, you're gonna be alone. And not only just alone, you're gonna be fucking destitute. I call that destitute. That's scary, okay? If you on your own and all the bills is on you and everything is on your responsibility, if you get sick, if something happens in the world, you get into an accident, anything happens to you, you are fucked. You're one check away from destitution constantly. You don't get to really fucking do shit. Because guess what? If you make $100,000 a year, your bills is up to $70K probably. You are already, like, basically what I'm saying is that However much you make, your lifestyle is going to acquire that. So basically, you're going to just be feeding in your lifestyle, and then you're going to be like slave to that job or whatever's giving you that money. You're going to be indebted to that, and you're going to be like the same thing that you're all trying to run away from with a partnership is the same thing you're going to have with this job or whatever. You're going to have to, like, what if you wake up one day, you don't want to do this job no more, and now you making $100K a year, but you can't quit. So you got to do it because now you used to living a certain way. My nigga, like, I'm trying to tell y'all, work on balancing your life to where you have different avenues and different streams of income. You have different places to live. You have different options. Like, you need to have options. You need to open up your plethora of options in this world now. Like, all this, I'm going to be single, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. If you need to open up your fucking mind and be more open-minded, like, real talk. Because it's also about survival. Think about it. You splitting bills with somebody, you get to save money, you get to still do those trips. Just think about it. You making that $100K a year, and you get another nigga to make $100K a year, or even if the nigga only making $50K a year, and y'all get to split shit, you get all that burden off of you. You get to focus on your like passion. You might be able to say, all right, I don't want to do this job no more. Let me go ahead and down and give me a little part-time job, and then do your passion on the side, do like, content creating or whatever. And then you get to also be happy with what you doing and feeling like you adequate out here. You putting something out in the world instead of just going and clocking in somewhere, sitting there at a desk or working your ass off all day. And then just to have really the only thing is that paycheck. And then you still got to come back every fucking day, or you're going to be fucking destitute. The same thing applies. Like, at the end of the day, y'all trying to keep yourselves from needing something or having to depend on something. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell you is you're going to fucking need and depend on something anyway. All right? And then what else did I want to say about this before I let y'all go on this one? Basically, I feel like the new wave is to have a few different forms of income. Leave yourself available for a partner. A partner is a necessity now. It's essential now. It's not a nigga. A few years ago, I was on the same shit, y'all. I didn't have to. If I didn't need to be with nobody, hey, it was cool and all that. I was cool with that. But like I'm saying, like, it's not even just about financially. It's just after a while, my nigga, that shit get old, boy. I don't know. Like, everybody cut from a different cloth as well. I was raised to be interdependent. You know what I'm saying? Not codependent, not independent. Well, I was raised to be independent as well, but you get what I'm saying? Like, interdependence was instilled in me too. Because I noticed that y'all got this hyper independent mindset. Y'all don't even look at it like slavery. Y'all don't even look at it like, y'all just look at it like, this is what you're supposed to do. This is a part of life. And like, y'all don't have no self-worth. Y'all been taught to sacrifice yourselves for these companies and shit. And I know that that's the case because even my grandma, like, me and her had an indifference of a conversation because I'm up here telling her like how good my YouTube and shit going, right? And I'm like, yeah, like, shit going good. And like, eventually I don't even think shit. Like, eventually I think I'll be making a few racks off of here a month. You know what I'm saying? Within the next couple months, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe even the next year, I'll give it that. You know what I'm saying? And she was just like, oh, well, that's good. She was like, but you ain't gonna quit your job, is you? And I'm just like, so I just sat here and said that I could be making triple what I'm making right now at this job. But you worried about me quitting my job. That's when I knew generational shit, like, certain people's mindsets, they think like a slave and they don't even realize it. Why the fuck would you recommend or suggest for somebody to keep working for another motherfucker when this is my own business? Say So TV is mine. And you would rather me go work for another motherfucker That's how I know, like, we've been conditioned, especially as black people. That's why I be mentioning many people of color, is because we've been conditioned to be some fucking slaves. She just want me to work for somebody. Like, no, I'm not fucking about to do that. I'm not slave-minded like that. I don't want to sacrifice myself, and that's what comes along with self-love. That's how you know you really got self-love. Because you think about, oh shit, if I'm on my own all the time and everything is based on me, if anything happens to me, I have to be healthy as a horse. I have to make all these right decisions. I can't never fuck up. I got to walk on eggshells around this world because, nigga, I am alone. That shit is scary. When you really love yourself, you'll be like, nah, nigga, nah, we deserve a little bit more than this. Let's go ahead and, yeah, we deserve us a village or something. We deserve some people around us that love us. We put too much out here. We deserve a partnership. We deserve some more. You know what I'm saying? Out of life, period. Because as a gay person, LGBT people, y'all, this is it. Once you get your own crib car, you got a nice little stable job and shit, nigga, you will literally be living that life up until you fucking die, nigga. And it takes a lot of people until they get 50, 60 to realize it. I'm here telling y'all as a young nigga, hey, let's not, you know what I'm saying? Because these older niggas ain't gonna tell you, because guess what? They want you to waste your fucking life just like they did, because they feel like that's what the fuck you supposed to do. Or they fucking bitter about it, so they're not gonna put you on game. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, these motherfuckers is getting up to 50, 60 years old, miserable, realizing that they was a hoe all their life. They ain't focused on shit else but they fucking self. And now they gonna realize what they gonna have to lay in the bed about with that for the rest of their life. If you don't start a family, that's it for us, okay? Straight people, they just accidentally, oh shit. My bad. Yeah, some people, they just accidentally, but yeah, y'all, basically the moral of the story is just make sure that you have a life. Don't just endow your whole self into your job, okay? Because just like depending on a nigga, depending on the job, if you have to and don't have no other options, and you don't want to be there, or they doing you dirty or whatever, is not the answer either, all right? So yeah, I just wanted to address the whole the comments that I've seen elders, like older gays, making shit about how, oh, they still happy or whatever. Like I said, y'all, I done seen homeless people on the street happy, don't got a care in the world. Like, happiness is a choice, and I'm not talking about happiness, I'm talking about fulfillment, all right? Being fulfilled and being happy is two different things. Like I said, happiness is an emotion. It's gonna come and go regardless of what position in life you're in. Yes, we aim to be happy majority of the time, and if you're healthy, you're gonna be happy majority of the time. Now, but fulfillment though, that's what you're getting out of life that says, okay, once you get to a point in life, you could go and say, all right, you know what? I'm happy with what I've done. And you know what? I'm happy with what I made in my life, and I'm glad I experienced this and I experienced that. You know what I'm saying? When you're not fulfilled, you can tell that, like, you haven't done much. And that's basically what I'm trying to say. I feel like a lot of us gay, bisexual people, LGBT people, we do not get fulfillment unless we go after it. Unlike straight people and shit, when they, you know, just living their day-to-day life, they can mean to or mean not to. It could be intentional or unintentional, and they gonna get them a family started, you know, have some kids, etc. You know what I'm saying? So with us, it just seems like life just stays still while everything moves around us. Like our cousins, our family, our friends that we grew up with, that we went to school with, everybody be having kids, and you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, everybody be having kids and shit and getting married and all this other shit, and you still living the same life that you was when you got your shit together. That's how it be out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, in this lifestyle, and that's just what I ain't gonna lie, like, that shit scary to me. You know what I'm saying? When I was in my own shit, and that shit had dawned on me there after a while, and that's what I decided to go ahead and downgrade, minimalize my living situation, I should say. so that I could uplift my life balance, so I can have a life, so I can have some money, so I can save some money, so I ain't gotta worry about shit. I ain't gotta worry about money and all this other shit, or just deadlines and all kinds of shit. Like, just, we ain't supposed to be living like that, y'all. Like, we supposed to be able to be free, or at least feel free. Whatever you do, it needs to be something that you're passionate about, not something that just pays good to get you by a while because you're gonna burn out of it. You know what I'm saying? And basically that's just what happened. I burnt out of being in my own shit, being the only one responsible for every damn thing. And it's a very normal response to stagnant lifestyle for a long period of time. I feel like we should all be trying to grow and do more, and etc. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just talking about the financial part. I'm talking about, nigga, I was good. I could pay for that. I could live on my own, especially now with YouTube. I could live on my own. I just don't want to. I don't want to go home to an empty crib by myself no more and all that other shit. I've outgrown that. There's phases in life that we go through as men, and I have passed the point of the whole just self-righteous, want to be on my own shit, have my own space and all that. Like, yes, that was me at one point. I was definitely that nigga, like, where I was like, nigga, fuck everybody. I don't want no roommates, no nothing. I want my own shit now, and I did that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta understand that when I'm talking, I'm coming from a lot of experience and wisdom. I'm young, but don't get it twisted. I done went through a lot. So I'm not just saying shit from a standpoint of an immature mindset who has not had their own shit, and I'm just saying this shit. No, like, I'm talking about, nigga, I'm being real with y'all. Like, we be thinking that something's gonna come out of nowhere when we in that position. Like, I thought that somebody was gonna see me, how hard I was grinding, how much I was worth, how dope I was, and how stable I was, and all this other shit. Somebody was gonna come along, see me, and wanna, you know, combine and with me and be my partner and shit. And that's just not what I was getting. I was getting a whole bunch of motherfucking little ass boys want to use me for temporary gratification, a place to stay, rides, dick, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers want to compete with me, being jealous of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get the response that you think you're gonna get. Now, maybe if I was fucking with girls more, I might have got a better response, but it just, we be thinking that shit's going to be like something's gonna come out of this out of nowhere, and I'm just here to break it to y'all that, like, that just ain't the case. Now, yeah, there are some random weird circumstances where there's people who were, and it happened. Everything has happened under the sun, you know what I'm saying? But that's not a common thing. Like, for the most part, it's gonna be what statistics and what, you know, your life has been for the most part, like, already. Unless you change something, won't nothing change, is what I'm trying to say. So don't sit here thinking like, oh, you know, if I'm just on my grind, and I'm like, I see that on social media all the time. Oh, just do your thing. Just focus on yourself and the right person to come along. Just focus on you and the right relationship will come along. Nah, I'm sorry to break it to y'all, but that is just not actually true, bro. Like, it can never come along. It could come along. It could come along when you broke and destitute, when you ain't got nobody. It could not come along when you ain't got nobody. It could come along when you get up on your shit, you got more money than you ever had. And it can also not come along when you get up on your shit and get more money than you'd ever had. But they go like, I'm trying to tell you, there's no fucking game rules when it comes to this relationship shit. There really isn't. Like, you really just gotta put your best foot forward, and like I said, be available for it. Also, take care of yourself. Make sure you don't ever get in a position where you need somebody, because then you're in a vulnerable position for them to do you any old kind of way. And, you know, just make sure that you have a life, bro. Like, real talk. Like, make sure that you have a life. I see too many times niggas don't have no life, and they think that, like, you know, going to work, coming home, and just having, like, just because they paid all their bills and they could do that was something. Like, yeah, it's something, but come on, my nigga. Like, we can do better than this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you got to do nothing. You can stay the same. You could grow, whatever you want to do. I'm just putting a different perspective out there, because a lot of people be on this fugazi ass shit and this la la land shit, and they be preaching and saying quotes that are really open-ended, you know what I'm saying? And making it like it's all closed off, and it's not. Like, so yeah, that's it for this one, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, because Kelzo say so.